Phillip Baker. Let's switch to that camera. So Phillip Baker, graduate environment artist in London, in UK. Someone who thinks about me listening to my own music. It's true, man. It's important. It's important sometimes. So Phillip is maybe I can pull the Notion up here as well. Oh man, it's really bright. So for Phillip, he's curious, is my portfolio suitable, ready for a junior environment position? All critique is helpful to know, to improve, of course. And what would you suggest I focus on next? Thanks for your time. Okay, so environment artists, we've got 3 pieces here. One of them looks like a prop, but I haven't clicked on any of these. So let's just start digging into it. Oh, actually, before we do that, I usually like to look at the front presentation of a portfolio. So the banner, there's the space up here and space down here. Those details bug me. They get weighted in ways where I'm like, just center it up a little bit more. so the space between these is a little better, mainly because you have all this text here, right? So already it becomes quite a bit heavier in the bottom. But it also shows me what you're super proud of these days in your portfolio. Nice profile pic as well. I know what you look like now. So if you ever show up to a meetup or something, I can be like, I know you. Okay. Palace dining hallway. Sometimes not to call you out specifically, Phillip, but I find it really interesting what people decide to call their pieces. So Palace dining hallway. It looks like some stuff went down as well. You can see the blood here. Wolver, how you doing? Swath, hello. Shokri, good to see you. Got the message that your stream contains mature content. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's some blood in this shot. So this is mission for the Rising Star competition in 2021. So this is 2 years old, so we won't focus on it too much. But some of the things that I really wanted to highlight in here is, so it's great that you're storytelling. The framing of these shots is really nice. And oh man, dude, gnarly. Over, how you doing? So the thing that I would point out for this scene, because I really like the storytelling and the way you're framing stuff, the thing that sticks out to me is materials and geometry. So the way your blood is rendering material wise feels a little stylized, and maybe that's the direction, the intention, right? So take that with a grain of salt, depending on like what you're going for. The next thing I would highlight is maybe like, it just looks like roughness for your materials is just a little off for each material. Like I'm not sure what that surface is or what this surface is. Like if this is marble, or understanding what the surfaces are and figuring out like how they behave is really important for getting a scene to really sing or look right. What's up, Axel? How you doing? When we look at the blood here, for example, it's tilted as a decal, right? Let's see if we can find a better shot of it. But like it's dripping diagonally, whereas it should always drip straight down. So it's those types of details when it comes to how your materials read, just the bringing everything together. The thing I wanted to mention with the geometry is exactly what Joe in chat is saying, is like you can count the vertices. And I know this is like 2 years ago, so maybe that's changed quite a bit. But whenever you have like a straight line or like these edges, when you can count edges, it's just too low. You need just enough geometry to really sell the type of asset that you're building. It doesn't have to be super high poly, but like getting a bevel on there and maybe adding a few more edges in here would just get that rounding and getting the light to kind of wrap around the edge. Maybe the entire room is tilted and it's dripping down. That so if that were the case, which I think would be really cool, I'd love to see the chairs like slid to one side of the room. I think that would be really cool, actually. Um, there's a little bit of battling with like how do I make the metals look like metal and getting the glass to feel like glass. Um, but yeah, again, 2 years ago, so of course I'm expecting that you've grown since then. I really appreciate that you're breaking down your scene into like showing us how you build stuff. I would like to see more of the props. Maybe that's, I don't think it is, but I would love to see, yeah, see all the props in there, the chandeliers. Like, I want to see how you modeled stuff, how you texture things. And that's like a common thing that I bring up with every portfolio is like, we don't see enough breakdowns. So if you could break stuff down, that would be much, much better. It just leads to a stronger scene. Overall, though, it looks like everything is there. It's just about turning up the quality, getting the materials to sing as the materials you want them to sing as. Like, for example, it looks like you've got maybe some normal map information for the floor, and that to me looks really wide, so it's really catching on the light there. Usually those are going to be quite subtle, and you're seeing a lot of it through the roughness instead. But yeah, it also, I mean, let's see what this looks like if it'll play. No? There we go. There we go. And it's always so much stronger when things are moving. If you can get more movement in your scene, it's always a good thing. Like if one of the windows is broken and you went for like a darker scene, you get a much more kind of like dynamic, or you can get a much more dynamic scene with like the chandeliers lighting the space. One of the windows broken and the wind's blowing like the curtains, maybe a flash of lightning to really like cast sharp shadows really quickly. Just really pushes your, here's the geometry thing again. It'll really push your scene to be more dynamic just by seeing that type of stuff. But yeah, see this? Like I would just double or triple the edges in order to get this to read nice and smooth. Oh, Joe, that's a good catch, actually. So we can go up here. You're talking about with things like this, or just the way that lighting is behaving on the floor. So Joe in chat saying you would like to note that he thinks that you don't have shadow catches on exterior of the walls, and you have reflections on the floor from lights that don't exist. So it's likely that because of that, like it looks pretty good here, but because of that, you're receiving a lot of lighting information that could be happening from outside that's not being blocked. Let's keep on pushing through here. I'm gonna look at the jolly boat. Dang, look at that. Man, that is seen things. Man, this looks really cool. So I guess what I would say is a lot of the paint, like the normal strength on it, might be a little harsh or a little like a little strong. Ugh. There we go. Because like when we see the checking if we gave Matu a bone. I did not give him a bone. He's getting one now. Yeah, so when you look at the paint, it's very strong, like on the normal edge. But then you look at the wood, and the wood has the same kind of effect. I think if you were to go with that kind of normal strength on the paint edges, but then left everything else a little bit more calm, it'll read a lot strong. Like down here, this reads really, really well to me. I wonder if I can. I don't know if you've rendered it the same way. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I'll switch to this camera real quick and get the Photoshop up, and I will show you what I'm talking about. But yeah, This is already quite the improvement from your previous stuff. Okay, let's switch back to this. So I'm gonna assume if I dupe this and drag this over that I can just do this and it'll line up. It looks like it. Oh, did I just lose my keyboard? What's happening here? I'm like, what? Oh, I see what's going on. There we go. Right, so we'll say that that's close enough. Oh man, I'm very picky about this stuff. So if we invert the mask on this and then we just paint where the paint is and just let that be the busy stuff in the normal. See, like this stuff here maybe shouldn't be so busy. Let me see what's going on down here. See, like this information doesn't really make sense to me. But when you look at it with the paint, it checks out, right? So I think there's just a lot of information that's happening in the surface from a normal standpoint. This is also a really good opportunity to have a different roughness for the paint versus the wood material. And then you have these little metal attributes in here as well, which is also a great opportunity to separate elements through roughness. Oh, inside's cool too. See, now we're looking at like the bare metal, the classic white, and the French blue. Really cool. I want to see your UVs. I want to see what your roughness map looks like. Cause see, like because you're using Marmoset, the Marmoset toolbag viewer as well, it looks like you're not able to get as high resolution textures in here. Oh, whoops. Hang on here. This is another thing I'm not really a fan of when it comes to using this tool. This button and this are so close that I basically just have to click this edge to make it happen. Right, so you can see in your gloss, there's not really a separation from your paint to the wood material, and getting that, especially with like the kind of mossy stuff, those are opportunities to separate the elements to receive a different type of gloss or roughness reaction. You can see how busy the normal is in there. Got to be a little careful with that. I think on the edges it's nice. Trying to keep the core a little chill is also a really good thing. Nice asset. And then it looks like your most recent one, which is 3 months ago, is Pirate Cove. Whenever someone makes a pirate scene, they're the coolest. They tend to be the coolest scenes because they're always implying you're going to a place that you've not seen before, or an area where there's like no one's allowed here, you know? Oh, this looks like it actually took quite a bit of time to make. You want to seek fortune and adventure? Nice. Yar. Well, come join me crew and take the first step to freedom. Oh, I love it. I love it. So this environment's pretty cool. This shot is quite strong. Compositionally, I would say just bringing maybe the ship in a little bit closer to the right would help. I don't know if there's a good way to Photoshop that. I wonder if this tool will... Come on, you can do it. That's impressive. That's kind of disturbing. Okay, I'm gonna just do that, and then let's do this. Hang on here. It's not gonna be perfect, of course, but that's kind of crazy. Um, let's go ahead and grab all of this, and then we'll just do like this space here. See, like a shift 5. Well, I need to do it with this tool. But the idea is like, if this could be moved, oh man, that's beautiful. Perfect. Thank you, Photoshop. If this was somewhere maybe more here, compositionally, I think that would be much stronger than the original. Let me go here. And also, like, you want to watch out for assets getting clipped on the top part here. You can see up here, it's like the top of the ship is just kind of clipping. So of course, don't mind all that. But yeah, I think this would go a long way for helping your framing your composition. There's no student loans on the high seas. Wouldn't such a boat be better with tileable material and some vertex paint or decals for better texture resolution? Gouda, I think it really depends on what you're building it for. If it's just like a material steady and like you're just building it for your portfolio, for sure, that the way it's done is good. In production though, I think what you're talking about, maybe not even vertex paint, but like a tileable material that kind of gives that look, and a mask that says where the paint's supposed to be. I still don't think vertex paint would be a good option, especially if it's more of an open world game, because then the vertex paint's going to blend out. It'll pop away. Trim sheets probably more of a, maybe more in that direction. But yeah, everything's getting me to look here. If we go back to this shot, which is, to me, is fine. I think that's totally fine. Right now, the rock feels quite bare. I think if there was, let's try another trick. If we just dupe this one, if we were to darken the rock and then invert this, and we started, with a mask kind of getting this wet, damp look on some of it, like that could go a long way for just adding a lot of like character and blending it into the scene. And just kind of getting some volume in there and some shape language. You can see how washed out it is, and like when you bring this in, like now all of a sudden this inside is much more, it's just popping out more. I think with the tents that are further out, you probably want to highlight them. But I think that could go a long way for getting this look to happen. The other thing too is like getting some more separation between these two would be really nice. Let's see if I can. No? Cool. Let's see if this will do it for me. That's pretty good. Well, I'll take it. Like if you had more of this kind of lighter value happening behind here to just really separate out the backdrop, you can see just even, this probably needs to be more of like a screen, so it's lighter. There we go. But yeah, now you get this separation, you start to understand your space a little bit more. And then the only other thing I would probably mention is like when we look at your foliage, you can see you've got these areas where it's much brighter, and then areas on top where they're darker, where you would expect, I guess, where you would expect highlights to be happening, right? So if I just grab, let's grab like one spot of this real quick here, and then I'll increase the brightness, maybe wash it a bit, and then we'll add a mask, invert the mask, and then I'll paint in So if you're imagining that this is, the edges are much lighter, right? Then you'll understand the volume of your piece more. And you can see just doing that, like just figuring out how to make your foliage pop more. And it's volumizing your normals. So what's happening right now is these brighter ones, from what I can tell, are normals facing straight at you, like they're bouncing the light correctly into your eye. And then here is maybe like the normals are facing a different direction. So what you can do is you can create volumes of geometry and then use the normals of that and transfer those to the vertices of the foliage, and then it'll become more volumetric in the way that it's lit, so it'll light more correctly. If you are curious about what I'm talking about and you're not sure where to look, just poke me on the Discord or ask someone how you volumize foliage, or how do you adjust the normal information on foliage to make it more volumetric. But yeah, I think that in combination with like the pirate ship being more here will help with like framing stuff quite a bit more. It could also be like, because I like the ship being here to keep this here. If that if you kept that and you just moved the, like let's say you did that, because we don't really need to see this, and you went more this way. See, what I'm trying to do is get the rock on this line and maybe in the right quadrant, and then getting the ship more on this line. So you're working on you're working in thirds. See, to me this is pretty strong as well. Oh no, Shokri, that's horrible. But this is really cool. And you have an entire scene here. I think it looks like your ground is displaced. I don't know if this is like nanite that's down here. A breakdown of the entire process can be found here. Interesting. Nice, Raggedy. Oh yeah, see, this is cool too. I feel like these are getting too dark. And you really want to like make it focus here, but you don't want to get like pitch dark pixels on the side. Oh, this is nice. Oh, and there's the boat. Nice. Okay, so you did get some. So again, I see these materials and I feel like the thing that's weakest right now in your work is your understanding of your roughness. If you can push that further, you're going to be, your scenes are going to sing like crazy, because you already have a lot going for your what you've built, and it's just a matter of like getting the surfaces to talk for you, to tell us what they're made out of. Is that paint? Is that, rust? What is that? Is it metal? This scene down here is quite cool. The particles, I guess in motion probably looks better. Having more spawn to give it a little bit more of a connection between the particles would help. This shot's really nice though. Dude, look at this rock over here. So you said that you link a breakdown here. I'm kind of scared to click on this link, and I think a lot of people would normally be. I'm gonna just do that in the other tab really quick here, and then see what's going on here. But I would suggest your breakdowns. Oh, it's like I see. See, I would either do this as an Artstation post or like, dang, that's cool though. I love the attention to the quality of your breakdown. Nice blockouts as well. Oh, at one point you were doing a face, it looks like. But I like the end result of what you did. Nice breakdowns of your rocks. Oh, look at this. Very nice. Channel splitting an engine. See, and this is a good opportunity to be using like the one of the channels for like all the grimy, drippy stuff. Even if it's just like sun bleaching your geometry, so it looks like the rock has been hit with the sun over long periods of time. Dude, nice. Oh, Karen Stanley. I miss that person. I hope she's doing all right. But yeah, these are great breakdowns. I think let's see what we're looking at here. Landscape material. So you were working on landscapes, tessellation material function. So this is pre UE5, I take it then. Dang, look at that water shader. This goes beyond what I understand of of shaders. This is super cool. You're like linking the information to the videos that you watch. I think because this is a PDF, you should be able to embed links. Man, that's super cool though. Let's I still wanted to see, I guess I feel like there's enough there. This scene is really good. But it's your understanding of roughness, I think, is where I would push your work. When it comes to what I think you should work on next, Philip, it would probably be maybe a scene that helps you push your materials. Like this scene is great because it has cloth in it on the floor. It's got like wood materials with like a finish on top. It's got like metals and glass light coming in. It's got paintings, so there's like painting frames and the painting itself. These are all very broad roughness selection to work with. So maybe you do like I don't know, like a place in an attic, or like a small little setup next to a window, like where someone gets coffee or has their coffee in the morning. And yes, the physically based.info is going to help you quite a bit when it comes to understanding those attributes. But I think just to push your portfolio just a little bit further, it's that I would make a small scene like I'm talking about. Um, the what was the other thing that you were asking? You were asking also if this is like good enough to get a job, like a junior position. I think so. I would take the breakdown that you had in your comments, and I would just do the breakdown as a separate post for now. And later you can, you can push it into the original post and hide the other one. But it'll pad your portfolio a little bit, which I don't think you necessarily need to do. Yeah, or an Artstation blog. If you're not using Pro, you won't have Artstation blog, and that's fine. The link works. I just think that some people will not click it out of fear of like viruses and stuff. But I would just do another post for now. You could do at the bottom of this, you could do a QR code and like a easy or short URL that you've shortened that someone can type out as well. But another post is just people will click on it more often. They'll go through it more often if it's an actual post. Yeah, and people trust QR codes even less. so that says a lot. But Philip, thank you for posting your portfolio. Hopefully this is helpful for you. And I look forward to having chats with you in the Discord. Hit me up if you have any questions as well.